For my day-to-day to-do list, I wanted something that I could bring with me no matter where I could go. Now, I tried a lot of different things, but for my money, there is no better tool than an index card. Hi, my name is Grandpa Choco. I'm a puppeteer, podcaster, and creator, and on this channel, I talk about creativity, my thoughts towards creativity, and much, much more. In my last video talking about my weekly planner, I told you about how I took a workshop called the Creative Path. Now, what the Creative Path does is it helps you set goals and it helps you achieve these goals, and it helps you do that by breaking them down in a very, very smart way so you can achieve a bunch of small tasks that lead to your bigger task. And in order to do that every single day, you need a daily to-do list. And for my money, there's no better tool for that than an index card. Now, I've tried apps on my phones, I've tried different journals, but nothing has stuck to me as much as index cards have. They're super cheap. They're portable, they're recyclable, and if you happen to leave one in your pocket and it goes through the wash, it doesn't cause too much trouble. Let's head over to the table and I'll show you how I set up my index cards at the start of every week to create my to-do lists. So what I really like about using index cards is that they are flexible. I mean, no pun intended, but you can really use them in different ways. And you know, in my life, the way my life works is I talked about tracks earlier. I generally have 3 tracks. The first track is my puppet character Toily. So it's making videos and creating t-shirts, designs, and stuff like that for Toily. The second thing is sort of my other creative endeavors. I host a podcast called Under the Puppet. I have my own personal podcast called The Grantcast. Links to all these things in the notes below. And then the last track is our real life. Right? Our daily life, things we have to get done. Oh, you got to call the gardener. Oh, you got to make sure that this bill gets paid. That's what would go in the life thing. Now, you could just use an index card and you could just list all these things. And I've done that plenty of times in the past. I'll have film a new Toily video, record the new podcast episode, make sure to go buy chicken at the grocery store. Whatever it is, they can all be mixed up. But what I've found that works for me is I fold the card into thirds. This is not, you know, groundbreaking here, but this is what I will do. And what this now allows me to do is have 3 spaces for the 3 different types of to-dos. Now, if you only have 2 tracks or 2 things to keep list of course, you can fold it in half. After that, you might have to look for another thing, because once you start folding this in more than just 3 things, this is a 4x6 index card. It gets a little hard to write on. But once your card is folded, the first thing I always like to do is put the dates of the week. So this week started 12/30/24 through 1/5/25. All right. And then in this top one, I will put the category. So this is my Toily to-do list. This is, I call this my Saturday morning media to-do list. And this is my life to-do list. And then what I will do is I don't use a ruler or anything like that. I don't want to get too fancy, but I do draw a line there. And then I will also draw lines down the fold so we have it folded up. So then you can look at your weekly planner and start putting in all the to-do things you need to do, or even things that you wouldn't necessarily put into your to-do planner. You can just start filming them out. So I'm going to put film new video, because that's what I want to do this week. And I want to research a performance venue. I'm just going to put research venue because I'll know what that is. For Saturday morning media, it's going to be edit this index card video. Edit index card video. Book next UTP guest. Now, UTP is under the puppet, so I'll know what that means. You can use a lot of little shorthand and code on here. And then for life, I need to go buy more dog food. And what else do I need to do? Wash the car. Now, what I really like about this is that as you fill in your to-dos, you can kind of see where your focus is going for the week, and you can adjust it. You're like, oh, wow, I'm spending much too much time on toilet. I got to do some of these things for real life, so I got to balance this out a little bit more. And just when you get things done, you can cross them out. You can add new things during the week to the list, but you got your whole week right here on one index card. This folds up. You can take it with you. I can slip it into my phone case. I can put it in a pocket. I can attach it to, stick it with my wallet or whatever. But then I always have this card with me, so I always know what needs to get done. The other great thing about this is if you write all your to-dos on here, you could bring them over to the second side if you have a lot of to-dos you need to do. I've really never gone to the back with my to-dos, but what I use the back for is notes. So if I need to write down a phone number, I need to write down, I have an idea of something I want to do or something I want to tell somebody, I can jot it down on here, and then I always am carrying a little note with me wherever I go of these things that I need to take care of. I have thought about archiving these, so I could have a record of what I do, but I already have a creative journal, and if I want to see what I've done day to day, I can just look at that. Most of the stuff that are on these to-do lists are not that exciting. So what I usually do is just recycle them. Of course, I don't do it until I look for any notes or important phone numbers or anything on the back. I've been down that road before. Make sure to check the back of your card for notes before you toss them. Now, always being on the lookout for new journals and workbooks and stuff like that, I did buy this little spiral-bound index card notebook, and it's pretty good, but it's not as portable as just one index card that has my entire week of to-dos on it. So for this one, I just keep this by my computer in case I have to make any notes while I'm working throughout the day. Having all my to-dos for the week on one index card helps me get a lot done. Of course, that is if I don't lose it. But then if I just lose it, I can refer back to my weekly planner where I should have all my to-dos anyway and create a new index card. I would love to know what your go-to to-do tracker is. Is it index cards? Is it a journal? Is it something else? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And thanks for watching.